Chapter 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. August 13, 2014, Real Madrid training base in bullfighting country, cloudy, on the green field. The two teams were doing simple warm-up exercises. At this time, a tall, cold-faced foreigner in a suit walked out from the players' aisle. "Damn, Li Chu, look who's coming over there, my idol." Huang Xiaotian, with yellow hair, excitedly grabbed a boy beside him and pointed at the foreigner beside him frantically. Li Chu raised his head and saw the foreigner, and his heart was also lost for a while. The foreigner was no one else, it was a well-known figure in the football world, Zidane, the former captain of Luofu country, who led Luofu country to win the World Cup, 3 times the World Footballer of the Year, and a man who can rank in the top 2 in the midfield position throughout the history of football. Moreover, Zidane was not only glorious as a player, but also led Real Madrid to win the Champions League 3 times in a row during his coaching career from 2016 to 2018. However, it was 2 years before Zidane became the coach of Real Madrid. Now he is the coach of Real Madrid B team. Why did Li Chu know this? Because Li Chu was a time traveler from 2022. An accident took his life and he was reborn in 2012, a boy named Li Chu. On the day of his rebirth, Li Chu awakened the field-stealing talent system. As a football lover, he embarked on the road of football player without hesitation. With the system and his own hard training, Li Chu soon shined and joined a youth football club. During his time in the club, Li Chu made rapid progress, but also deeply felt the bad domestic football environment. It's not the real environment that is bad, but the bad and corrupt system of training and selecting players. For example, Huang Xiaotian, who just pulled me to watch Zidane, although he has a good relationship with me, can always keep the starting position of the team, not because of his sloppy airplane ball, but because of his coal-digging father. Every year, the money Huang Xiaotian's family sends to the club is enough to build a brand new football stadium. This is just a microcosm, although it has its own field-stealing talent system. In domestic clubs, the opponents are all young players from domestic clubs, so this leads to a problem. No matter how much Li Chu steals, he can only steal the most talented young players in the country, all of whom have ordinary or even low-level talents. These young players have weak basic skills and generally have pitifully low ability values. Occasionally, a talented player has a certain outstanding ability, but other abilities are all unsightly. Flying kicks, slipping feet, and being exhausted after the first half have almost become standard for everyone. The talent stolen by the field-stealing talent system can only be used for 3 games or kept permanently. How dare Li Chu keep it permanently? So Li Chu has been looking for an opportunity to go overseas, to the truly pure green field, to practice his football skills, grow from the strong confrontation, and at the same time, to get in touch with those world-famous players. If there is a chance to randomly steal the talents of those stars. A week ago, this opportunity finally came. The Football Association selected the outstanding seed players from various youth clubs and signed contracts with the Football Association U18. The opportunity is to go to the bullfighting country and participate in the overseas trial of Real Madrid. Real Madrid, a La Liga giant, can be said to be one of the best football clubs in the world. Li Chu certainly would not miss this opportunity and chose to sign a contract and join the U18 youth team. Today is the day of the trial. Li Chu will represent the Football Association U18 against Real Madrid B team. TSK, Zidane, I can play football under the witness of my idol. My dream has come true. Huang Xiaotian was excited, and Li Chu was speechless. It turned out that your father spent so much money just to satisfy your dream of chasing stars. Why don't you say anything, Li Chu? What? You're losing confidence seeing Zidane here. You're the top young midfielder in our yen country. I heard that today's game will be broadcast live in China. I know my own weight. But for you, it's a great opportunity. One kick into Zidane's eye, and then you'll become Zidane's disciple. Li Chu rolled his eyes at Huang Xiaotian, and his heart was warmed. Although Huang Xiaotian was not a good teammate, he was always very supportive and loyal as a friend. He asked, "So what? Give me a football signed by Zidane. It would be best if you write a letter and give it to Huang Xiaotian. Promising, Huang Xiaotian's teasing made the originally nervous Li Chu relax a lot. A harsh voice suddenly sounded beside Li Chu and Huang Xiaotian's ears. You kicked the ball into Zidane's eyes. You really don't know how much you weigh. Li Chu looked at him. The one who spoke was Wu Qian, the top striker of his domestic club's rival. He also chose to sign with the U18 national football team like himself, and played as a center in this game. If you want to say who has the best talent among all people, it must be me, Wu Qian. You people who have only played domestic games, how can you know the cruelty of the international arena? But I'm different. My dad spends money every year to send me to participate in foreign star training camps. Just pass the ball to me later. Huang Xiaotian has never been a landlord who swallows his anger. As for you, what do you have except your dad's stinky money? Aren't you scolding yourself too? Li Chu was speechless. In the eyes of his two lives, Wu Qian was just a kid. He knew his skills, he had copied his abilities through the field stealing talent system. As a result, in the first game, he missed a penalty kick, lost 7 balls, and fell down. He almost lost his starting position. Since then, he has never used his talents again. The game is about to start. Look over there. The reporters are coming. Li Chu didn't want to get entangled with Wu Qian, so he diverted Huang Xiaotian's attention. Chapter 4. You are listening at novelfull.audio. System, open the latest attribute panel. Li Chu couldn't hold back his surprise. The system is opening the Zidane, youth, attribute panel. Offensive attributes, speed 78, shooting 74, shooting power 80, shooting accuracy 78, penalty 87. Passing and control attributes, short pass 83, vision 91, long pass 81, ball control 80, free kick 74, reaction 88, defensive attributes, man-to-man 57, steal 71, heading 80, tackle 53, physical attributes, strong 84, stamina 84, bounce 71, Marseille turn, full level, during the forward dribbling process, turn around and get rid of the defender with a 180-degree rotation. After using it, you can choose to pass, shoot or continue dribbling. Top dribbling skills. Flying fairy, full level, facing the flying football, you can directly shoot the football with force without stopping the ball, ignoring the original curvature and strength of the football. Top offensive skills. Li Chu was unexpectedly ecstatic. Unexpectedly, an own goal pass actually allowed him to steal the ability value of young Zidane, which was more than 20 points higher than Su Bai's ability value before. Moreover, the two skills, Marseille turn, and flying fairy, are the top passing and offensive skills in football. Confidence returned to Li Chu's heart. Even if it was just the ability of young Zidane, it was enough to surpass all young football players in history. System, choose to keep it permanently. No more hesitation at the moment. His position is midfielder, and Zidane's attributes can be said to be a perfect match for him. If you miss this opportunity, you may not have it again. The host chooses to keep the attributes of young Zidane permanently, and the system is upgraded. The system is upgraded to the infinite glove system. It no longer randomly steals the attribute panel of the opponent's players, but randomly steals skills, attribute points, characteristics, items, and can be combined. System upgrade. Absolutely a pleasant surprise. Mbappe's speed, Ronaldo's header, Messi's dribbling. However, Li Chu at this moment didn't know that because of his own goal pass just now, the fans in the Yen Country Live broadcast room were completely broken. Bullet screen, do you have any quick-acting heart-saving pills? Brothers, please mail one to me. Bullet screen, there is no disappointment without expectation. Look at the leadership team of the Football Association next to you. They can still laugh at 0:5. Bullet screen, the so-called overseas trials are just to let young players gild a layer of gold and then resell them at a high price. Of course, they don't care. Bullet screen, there is no hope for Yen country football. Although Madrid B team has scored 5 goals, the game has only just started for 30 minutes. It's okay, Li Chu. It's already very good that you can catch that big kick. Huang Xiaotian comforted the dazed Li Chu. Li Chu came back to his senses, the game was still going on, and he said with a firm look. "Brother, I must help you win today." "Okay, win the game and give me a football signed by Zidane." Huang Xiaotian thought Li Chu was just refusing to give up, and replied jokingly. The game continued, the Madrid B team kicked off, and Jack also brought the ball to Li Chu. This time, Li Chu clearly felt that Jack's movement slowed down, the ball seemed to be a toy at his fingertips in front of him. The defense of the young Zidane may not be the best among those defensive heavy artillery players, but in front of Jack, it is definitely a dimensionality reduction attack. "You still don't give up. The ball is mine now." Li Chu made a steal, and the football was at his feet, passing him with the ball. Jack reacted, his face full of disbelief. A blind cat met a dead mouse. How could the speed of his kick just now be so fast? Li Chu grabbed the football from Jack's feet, which gave all the U18 players a life-saving medicine. This was the first steal of the U18 team in the first 30 minutes. "Su Bai, Wu Qian, Huang Xiaotian, you guys rush forward and wait for my pass," Li Chu commanded calmly. Originally Wu Qian wanted to laugh, but was suppressed by Li Chu's unquestionable voice, and his body could not help but press forward. Why did this kid suddenly become a different person? Wu Qian suddenly had such a thought in his mind. How could the players of Madrid B team tolerate being dribbled so recklessly by Li Chu? Two players quickly stepped forward to double team. Li Chu was not flustered. He saw Su Bai's position and made a direct cross. Before Su Bai could react, the football drew a perfect arc in the air at an incredible speed, passing over the two balls. The player came to his feet. This pass was too accurate. Su Bai had never received such a comfortable cross. Unfortunately, although Li Chu's pass was exquisite, the ball was not warm under Su Bai's feet, and a defender quickly reacted and intercepted it. "Return to defense," Li Chu roared. The ball began to perform another wave of passing show at the feet of the Madrid B team players, but this time, Li Chu would never give them the opportunity to continue attacking, because Li Chu's improvement was not just passing. The passing route of the Madrid B team was so clearly depicted in Li Chu's mind. He waited behind Jack early when the opportunity was right. Like a hunter who set a trap, waiting for the prey that was late and fell into the cage. The opportunity has come. The ball suddenly flew to Jack from the midfield with a lob pass. "The ball is mine again." Jack only heard a familiar voice suddenly coming from behind him. Li Chu rushed out from behind him like a ghost, stuck in front of him, stopped the ball on his chest and landed smoothly, without stopping for a moment, and launched a counterattack with the ball. Why is it him again? It's another blind cat that meets a dead mouse. Jack was like being slapped hard in the face again. "Beautiful." Huang Xiaotian couldn't help but exclaimed. The reporter from the bullfighting country on the side didn't even react. Some people frowned in disbelief. If I remember correctly, this is the second steal of this Yen country boy in less than 2 minutes, right? Definitely luck. The players of Madrid B team underestimated the enemy. Li Chu didn't care what others thought at this time. He had only one belief in his mind, at least one goal. For the first time, Li Chu heard Zidane's shouting of commanding the players beside the green field. "Go forward and press. Guard him." Is this considered as recognition of his own performance? "But Zidane, can your players really defend me now?" A player from Madrid B team rushed up aggressively, and Li Chu's mind moved. The skill, Marseille turn, was triggered. Then the ball seemed to stick to Li Chu's feet, and followed Li Chu's 180-degree turn, without any slowdown, and turned over and passed the defensive player. The players who were passed were stunned for a moment with this Marseille turn. At this time, Jack, who was intercepted by Li Chu, ran all the way back to defense, and now came to Li Chu again. "Your luck ends here." "Really?" Li Chu would not give any face to Jack, who was intercepted twice by him, and the Marseille turn continued to be triggered, turning 180 degrees and passing easily. Jack stood there with a pale face. How could it be? In just a few minutes, the dribbling and ball control of this Yen countryman were completely different. "Give me the ball. Li Chu, give me the ball." Wu Qian turned around and yelled not far in front of Li Chu, two Madrid B10 players formed a closing force to block Li Chu's passing route, but Li Chu had already changed a precise through pass passed through the feet of two defensive players. There was only one defensive player behind the two players. This was a one-on-one opportunity. Fuck. What kind of pass is this? How can it be so fast, that Wu Qian did not disappoint? It can be said that the meal that was fed into his mouth was slapped away by him. This exquisite through pass finally passed to the feet of the opponent's defender who rushed to the position in time. The attack failed. Li Chu ignored Wu Qian's mindless abuse. Such a good opportunity. Damn. Chapter 5. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this time, Zidane on the green field was still immersed in Li Chu's dribbling. This kid also knows the Marseille turn. You know, this is his famous skill. And that precise through pass, any slightly normal player can definitely receive it. This kid suddenly broke out, and his playing style is very similar to his past. It can be said that this young man from Yen country just tore through his team's defense almost by himself. It's quite interesting. Li Chu didn't know that he had successfully attracted Zidane's attention. And the enthusiasm of the fans who knew football in the Yen country live broadcast room was also rekindled. Bullet screen. I didn't see it wrong. Marseille turn. Bullet screen. Isn't this Zidane's famous skill, the Marseille turn? 180-degree turnover and pass. Bullet screen, and this kid is smooth and fluent, and he passed two people with two consecutive Marseille turns. Bullet screen. It's a pity that striker Wu Qian is a loser, he is so hopeless. The game continues. Li Chu, who has continuous experience of passing, is more confident now. As long as he keeps creating opportunities, the Yen country players will definitely score. The premise is to change a striker to receive the ball. Su Bai is more reliable, but Wu Qian, I will never believe it again. At this time, there are 7 minutes left before the end of the first half. Huang Xiaotian, go there and take position. It's difficult to support alone. Football is a team game after all. At this time, Madrid B team is passing and controlling the attack. Li Chu finds his position and starts to arrange the defensive position of his teammates. Huang Xiaotian has absolute 100% trust in Li Chu. Even if the position that Li Chu asked him to go to, there is no opponent's player at present. The opponent's player has brought the ball to Li Chu not far away. Li Chu rushed over without hesitation and made a sliding tackle. Although his ability value of sliding tackle is not high at present, but Li Chu will not let go of every opportunity. Strive hard. Caught it. Huang Xiaotian, please. Huang Xiaotian looked at the ball shoveled by Li Chu, and was overjoyed. Li Chu actually sent the ball to him. Charge. With Li Chu's order, the forwards and midfielders of the U18 team began to press forward. Stop the ball route of the number 10. Stop him. Number 10 is Li Chu's number. Zidane has seen that the number 10 front midfielder of Yen country has become the absolute core and brain of the Yen country team at this time, and the ability of other players to handle the ball is not worth mentioning at all, but the number 10 has the ability to tear through the team's defense by himself. Li Chu didn't expect Zidane to discover his idea so quickly, and quickly made adjustments on the sidelines. He is worthy of being a future coach. He is worthy of being a former team leader. However, Li Chu also had his own strategy to deal with it. He accelerated to shake off the defensive players and rushed forward. Huang Xiaotian, pass it hard. Don't be afraid, just pass it. Seeing that Huang Xiaotian was about to be double-teamed by the opponent's players, Li Chu shouted vigorously. Huang Xiaotian looked at the defensive players who came to press in a panic and kicked the football out with all his strength. The arc of the ball was not high and the speed was very slow. Li Chu could only accelerate towards the ball with all his strength. At this time, no player in the field could match his speed. In the end, Li Chu received the ball before the opponent. In the case that no one in the field expected, Li Chu, who received the ball, did not stop at all and kicked the ball out with one foot. Zidane looked at the flying ball and his eyes lit up. This pass, is it? Watching the ball fly accurately through the sky to Su Bai, Zidane couldn't help but marvel at Li Chu's ability to handle this ball. It's amazing. If it were an ordinary person, he would never be able to handle the ball so well in such a short time. this pass created a great opportunity for the striker. It's so much like me, if it were me, I would handle this ball the same way. Su-bai received another unexpected pass, and there was only one defender in front of him, single-handed. However, the defender of Madrid B team is not the defender of those domestic clubs after all. At this time, Su-bai was on the left side, and the defender pressed forward at a very fast speed. This was not preparing any space for Su-bai to dribble the ball. Pass it to me. Not just when Su-bai's mind was blank, Li Chu's voice came. At some point, Li Chu had come not far from Su-bai. After passing the ball just now, Li Chu anticipated the situation that Su-bai might face, quickly moved to give Su-bai a chance to pass the ball. Su-bai passes back. Li Chu saw the strength and angle of this pass and secretly said in his heart, "Oh no." Sure enough, this pass was intercepted by another defender who returned to defense. There is still a chance. Li Chu pressed forward, and the defender obviously didn't expect Li Chu to be so fast, and pounced on him like a beast. As a result, this pass was predicted by Li Chu and intercepted. Opportunity in front of the penalty area. At this time, the ball was indeed very close to the goal, but the players of Madrid B team returned to defense too quickly. At this time, there were already 5 defensive players around Li Chu. "Give me the ball. Li Chu, give me the ball." The familiar Wu Qian came again. Li Chu quickly judged that Wu Qian's position was indeed good. "Forget it, I'll trust you again." Li Chu passed the ball, but Wu Qian didn't disappoint Li Chu's trust. A good opportunity to stop the ball. Wu Qian jumped up and caught it with his head. Li Chu was speechless. There are 5 people in front of the opposite goal. You want to shoot and score at this distance? I'm afraid that even Ronaldo's header has little chance. Wu Qian's header was beyond Li Chu's expectation. Even the trajectory was not towards the goal. It completely deviated from the route and rushed towards a defender. The defender didn't even expect that this unreasonable header would be so crooked and rushed towards him. The ball hit the defender and flew out of the baseline. Corner kick opportunity. Damn, I'm so awesome. Wu Qian was not embarrassed at all for his accidental hit. Although Li Chu was speechless, his heart was boiling. Sure enough, even a pile of rice fields would have his role. Wu Qian, who wasted an opportunity, finally created an opportunity. All the players of the U18 team came to the goal, and even the goalkeeper ran over. No one knows if this is the only chance for the U18 team to score. Zidane put his hands on his chest and stared at Li Chu. This kid has such similar skills to his own. With the skills he has shown so far, he will definitely not miss this corner kick opportunity. Huang Xiaotian took the corner kick and looked for Li Chu's position in the crowd. He didn't trust anyone except Li Chu. Li Chu also held his breath and looked for the right position. It's time to score a goal for Yen country. As Huang Xiaotian kicked, the ball flew over from the air. Oops, it was kicked too high. Huang Xiaotian regretted the kick as soon as he kicked it. Li Chu looked at the football in the sky, and his heart moved, and the skill, fairy from the sky, was triggered. Chapter 6. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The ball flew in the sky, and Li Chu's flying fairy skill was triggered. In the eyes of everyone who couldn't believe it, Li Chu raised his left leg high. That height surprised many people. What was he going to do? Shoot. Impossible, that was a corner kick, that kind of ball speed. But Li Chu's swinging left leg directly hit the football flying rapidly in the air without any hindrance. In an instant. Bang! With a bang, the football pulled out by Li Chu flew towards the goal like a cannonball. The goalkeeper of Real Madrid B team stood there blankly without any reaction. The football passed directly over his shoulder. It went into the net. 1:5. Goal. The U18 team actually scored a goal. It was still Li Chu's incredible flying fairy. An unparalleled goal. This beautiful goal made everyone stunned. Li Chu stood there and smashed his fist into the sky, venting the anger that had been suppressed for 30 minutes. At this time, all the players of Madrid B team and other U18 players were still immersed in the shock of Li Chu's amazing kick. This Yen countryman actually scored a goal. Damn, he actually kicked the ball into our goal. God, I must be dreaming. Flying fairy from the sky. My idol's famous skill, flying fairy from the sky. Huang Xiaotian roared and ran towards Li Chu, and all the U18 players gradually recovered from the shock. Everyone rushed to Li Chu, picked up Li Chu, and threw him high into the air. Goal! We scored! Li Chu! Li Chu! This scene seemed to be because of this goal, the U18 team had won. At this moment, in the hearts of all U18 players, Li Chu was a hero. Bullet screen, WTF. 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 Bullet screen, was that goal just now real? Can our Yen country players really score it? Bullet screen, I said before the game that Li Chu is not ordinary. Bullet screen, if I remember correctly, this is definitely Zidane's famous skill, a fairy from the sky. At this time, Zidane, who witnessed his famous skill being reproduced, was also shocked. He thought that this kid would seize the opportunity to score this goal, but he never expected that this kid not only seized the opportunity, but also scored such a beautiful goal. In addition to being shocked, Zidane's heart was even more joyful. Originally, he only thought that this trial was just a practice match for the team, he never thought that he could find any good seedlings in the Yen country's youth team, but after gradually adapting to the intensity of the game, the number 10 brought him surprises again and again. Although he was happy, Zidane knew his identity as the coach of Madrid B team, and shouted at the players who were still confused. In the next game, defend the number 10. If you score another goal, all rest this week will be cancelled. The players of Madrid B team also came back to their senses because of Zidane's shouting, especially Jack, who locked his eyes on Li Chu. On the sidelines, the reporters of bullfighting country were shocked and beat their chests and stamped their feet. Out of contempt, none of them believed that this corner kick could create a goal. Such a beautiful goal can definitely become the material for today's news. Did you take a picture? I didn't take a picture either. Did you take a picture of that? I also. As a reporter, the most important thing is the material. Regardless of whether the impact on bullfighting country football is positive or negative, Li Chu, as a Yen country player, can break the goal of Madrid B team with a fairy from the sky. If it is sent out, it will definitely cause a wave of heated discussion in the football circle. Okay, this kick has raised the value of this kid. It seems that he can be sold for a good price when he returns to China. Several football association leaders on the sidelines were also happy about Li Chu's goal. However, they were not considering the future of national football at all, but whether they could make more money from it. The price will be increased by 5 million at that time. Today's game is not in vain, that the football association leaders smiled at each other. All the U18 players had signed contracts with the football association before, and according to the contract, they had the final say on where these players went. The game continued, with 2 minutes left in the first half. With Li Chu's goal, the anger of all the players of Madrid B team they were also ignited. For them, if Yen country scored a goal and passed it out, they would probably be laughed at by the football circle of bullfighting country. In order to wash away this shame, their desire to attack swelled even stronger. As soon as Madrid B team kicked off, they continued the same offensive momentum as before. Li Chu's heart had calmed down at this time, and he led the team to start arranging defense. Even Wu Yong shut his mouth obediently and followed Li Chu's command. Block the side, don't let him break through. Looking at Jack, who was accelerating with the ball, Li Chu shouted at the right back. The defender quickly stepped forward to force the position, but was mercilessly accelerated and passed by Jack. On the other side, the three forwards of Madrid B team also pressed to the top of the penalty area. Want to cross the header again? Li Chu saw through the tactics of Madrid B team. Quickly returning to defense, was stuck on the passing route that Jack must pass. Jack saw Li Chu and crossed the ball without hesitation. The tall center forward of Madrid B team was fighting for position with Li Chu at this time. The opponent used his shoulder to press Li Chu back tightly. This time, Li Chu would not give the opponent the opportunity to easily shoot the ball as before. Jump high. Fighting desperately with the center forward in the air for the chance of heading the ball. Headed it. The ball was headed out of the penalty area by Li Chu, but because of the confrontation with the center forward in the air, Li Chu lost his balance in the air. the ball barely flew to his own defender. Fortunately, the defender caught the ball, then the defender kicked the ball out without hesitation. Li Chu just wanted to curse, and used the usual Chinese national football clearance skill, kicking the ball. But there was no player from his own team to respond in front of this kick. It was equivalent to losing the ball to the opponent's players. The backcourt players of Madrid B team easily received this clearance kick and continued to send the ball to the front court to launch an attack. At this moment, Li Chu deeply felt what it meant to be alone. After all, it was Madrid B, a Spanish second division team. Every player who could gain a foothold in Madrid B, any one of them would be the best in talent and skills, crushing 99% of the existence. Football is a team competition of 11 people. How can I fight against 11 people alone? With the exquisite passing and control of Madrid B, the ball was pushed into the goal again by them. 1:6. The whistle sounded, and the first half ended. Li Chu was panting heavily. In order to defend against the opponent's attack, he just ran from the front court to the back court, from the left side to the right side, but he still failed to disrupt the opponent's attack. Today, the sky of the bullfighting country has been overcast. I don't know if it is a coincidence. With the whistle in the midfield, there are bursts of thunder, heavy rain poured down. Zidane didn't hold an umbrella, letting the rain hit his bald head, looking thoughtfully at the number 10 boy who was trying his best in the heavy rain. With such heavy rain, it seemed that the game could not continue, but the boy's short performance had proved a lot. Chapter 7. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the U18 lounge, Huang Xiaotian was still excitedly talking to Li Chu about his goal from the sky. Chu, you are so awesome, you actually used my idol's famous stunt. Did you hide it before, waiting for the national live broadcast today to make a splash? From now on, I will be your #1 fan, Li Chu. Li Chu answered his lively buddy helplessly, and was worried about another thing in his heart. In such heavy rain, will the game still be played today? If not, does it mean that his overseas trial training journey is over? Thinking of this, Li Chu's heart sank even more. The boys performed well, especially you, Li Chu. That goal was very good. Several leaders of the Football Association walked into the lounge, looking in a good mood. Leader, can the game continue? Li Chu asked when he saw the leader who was questioned by Li Chu frowned. Why, isn't 1:6 ugly enough? It just so happened that because of the heavy rain, we have already told Real Madrid that the game is cancelled. Hearing the words cancelled, the other U18 players were all happy. They had been pampered in China, but today, under great pressure, they lost face in front of the national live broadcast. It's just right that we don't play anymore. My feet are sore from running. When we return to Yen country, I will ask my brothers to go for a foot massage. Wu Yong was the first to stand up and applaud. Li Chu's mood became increasingly depressed. Perhaps it was Li Chu's brilliant performance today that made the leader pat him on the shoulder and said with a smile, Xiao Chu, it's normal that our Yen country football is different from foreign football, but with your skills, you will get the highest salary when you return to China. To be honest, your previous club offered you a high price because of this overseas trial. When you return to your old team, your salary will double. Return to the original club? Li Chu shook his head. This was definitely not the result he wanted, although he knew in advance that the Football Association was just signing them to gild them, get exposure and popularity, and then sell them back at a high price. But his goal has always been to improve himself in a more cruel overseas. But what can he do now? Otherwise, I will go to Zidane to fight for it. Li Chu still has some confidence in his goal, but after all, it is just a goal. Can Zidane remember him? Li Chu, someone is looking for you outside. Just when Li Chu was struggling, a staff member came out of the locker room. Li Chu followed him in confusion. Who could be looking for him? When he saw the familiar figure in the players' aisle, he was excited. It was Zidane. At this time, Zidane seemed to have just come back from the heavy rain, and there was rain on his bald head. Hello, I am Zidane, the current head coach of Real Madrid B team. You should know me, right? Zidane was still expressionless, but Li Chu could feel the friendliness in his tone. Unfortunately, the second half of the game cannot continue due to weather reasons. But your ball control today and that brilliant goal impressed me deeply. If you are interested, you can join the Real Madrid youth team. As long as you can prove yourself in the youth team, I will give you the opportunity to join my Madrid B team. Every word Zidane said sounded like heavenly music in Li Chu's ears. Li Chu did not expect Zidane to be so straightforward and direct. He suppressed his inner joy and nodded heavily. Is there anything more exciting than a world-class star and a future coach taking a fancy to you? Joining the Madrid B team is the goal of this trip. Although I joined the youth team first, with a springboard, am I still afraid that I can't splash out smoothly? Zidane saw Li Chu nod, and a smile appeared on his expressionless face. Okay, then I will go to your person in charge to negotiate now. I don't agree. I strongly disagree. Li Chu is the future football star of our Yen country. We also have our own league in Yen country, which can provide him with a perfect stage and opportunity for growth. In the negotiation room, the leader of the Football Association heard the request of the person in charge of Real Madrid and Zidane on the side, and refused righteously. The corner of the mouth of the person in charge of Real Madrid twitched. Isn't your domestic league equivalent to a child's house? But he still squeezed out a smile and said, our bullfighting country's league is one of the top 5 leagues in the world, and our Real Madrid is the greatest football club of the century. Letting a talented player like Li Chu in our Real Madrid can not only improve ourselves, but also. No way. The leader of the Football Association was arrogant and secretly happy. He didn't expect that even a giant like Real Madrid would have a day to beg him humbly, but Li Chu must not be released. If Li Chu is released, who will compensate him for the hundreds of millions of dollars originally sold to domestic clubs? Zidane looked at this unkind leader of Yen state and suppressed his anger. After all, Li Chu was someone he liked. Have you ever asked Li Chu what he thinks? The leader of the Football Association looked at this Football Hall of Fame, his eyes turned, and he said with a smile, if you really like Li Chu, would you consider coming to our Yen country national team to coach? The shameless leader of the Football Association made the negotiation end unpleasantly. Zidane and the person in charge of Real Madrid walked out of the negotiation room angrily, and at this time, the negotiation room was surrounded by reporters. They all received information that Real Madrid had taken a fancy to Li Chu. Excuse me, Mr. Zidane, what is the result of this negotiation? Zidane remained silent, and the leader of Real Madrid on the side also looked ugly. When the reporters saw the leader of the Football Association walking out, they immediately changed their target and crowded over. The leader of the Football Association was also shocked to see so many reporters. He smoothed his few hair back, and his heart moved, and he put on a heartbroken expression. Talented players like Li Chu have long been the main targets of our Yen country, and there are also many clubs in the country that have extended olive branches to us. It's within my expectation that Real Madrid would like Li Chu, but if Real Madrid is allowed to play football overseas, I have to give an explanation to those domestic clubs. 5, 10 million. If Real Madrid can pay a transfer fee of 10 million, our Football Association is willing to let Li Chu train himself overseas. At this time, we ask Real Madrid for 10 million. When we get to China, those clubs who want Li Chu can raise the price by 5 million. It's a good opportunity to make money by hyping it up. Chapter 8. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 10 million. I think he's crazy. The head of Real Madrid widened his eyes when he heard the national football leader's outrageous remarks to the reporter. A young player who has no achievements in international competitions wants a transfer fee of 10 million. Mr. Zidane, I think this Yen country boy you are interested in has no chance to join our Real Madrid. Zidane had a blank expression on his face, and he looked aside. Although he had led Real Madrid to brilliant achievements when he was a player, he is now just a coach of Madrid B team, and the performance of Madrid B team was not good last season. This is also the reason why he wanted Li Chu, but he didn't expect that the national football leader would ask for such a big price. The reporters of the bullfighting country were also blown up by the words of the Football Association leader. Many reporters quickly edited the relevant news on their mobile phones and sent it to the internet. At this time, the NaN country fans who had just finished watching the first half of the game and learned that the second half was cancelled saw this news. Comment: shameless. Too shameless. It's so hard to get a seedling, but they didn't let him go. Comments: 10 million. This is obviously a speech that you do and deliberately find it. Comment: I am a Real Madrid fan. I originally had the opportunity to have a Chinese player, and now I just want to have a knife. Comments: brothers, now I booked a ticket to beat him. The leader returned to the lounge and told several other leaders what happened just now. Almost all the money, are they from Real Madrid? Are they going to give us 10 million? 10 million is not enough. Even in China, they can give 20 million. We will raise the price later. That the leaders opened the door, but found that it was not Real Madrid who were outside, but the U18 players led by Huang Xiaotian. Huang Xiaotian took out his mobile phone and found the news just released by the bullfighting country reporter. Leader, I heard that Real Madrid has taken a fancy to Li Chu. You don't let him go, and you want a transfer fee of 10 million, that the leader's face changed. He didn't expect those bullfighting country reporters to release news so quickly. Then he calmed down. So, what are you doing here? That the U18 players looked indignant. We are here to seek justice for Li Chu. How could Real Madrid offer a transfer fee of 10 million? You are cutting off Li Chu's chance to go to Real Madrid. Yes. Why don't you let Li Chu go? Bang. The door was slammed tightly by the Football Association leaders, leaving the passionate players outside the door. At this time, Li Chu just came back from the bathroom. Seeing his teammates standing in front of the door, he asked curiously, "What are you doing here?" "Li Chu, don't you know? Real Madrid has taken a fancy to you, but the Football Association wants a transfer fee of 10 million. Yes, the news has been published. We can't stand it, and we're here to seek justice for you." After Li Chu met Zidane, he went to the bathroom because of a stomachache. He didn't have time to tell his teammates about this matter, but the news came out. When he heard that the Football Association wanted a transfer fee of 10 million, he couldn't help but get angry. Of course, he knew that if he went directly to Real Madrid, these leaders would make a lot less money, but he didn't expect that NaN country had finally produced a good seedling. And these leaders wanted to cut off his chance to go to Real Madrid for their own interests. Fortunately, he kept a hand. "Li Chu, where are you going? Let's stand here today. I don't believe these old men won't come out." Although Huang Xiaotian is a player of the Football Association, he is not afraid of making trouble. After all, he is a rich second generation, his family is rich, so he can just stop playing football and go back to inherit the family property. "You all go back. I am very grateful to everyone, I have my own way." "What can you do? We have signed the contract at that time. If the Football Association does not let us go, we can't go anywhere." Looking at Li Chu's back, everyone had a big question mark in their hearts. At this time, in the Football Association's leadership lounge, several leaders were scolding the U18 players. "These little bastards, they are rebelling, right? Go back tomorrow and pack them all up and sell them away. Anyway, we have the contract in hand, so we are not afraid of these guys making trouble." "Yes, as long as there is a contract, Li Chu can only be sold by us." At this time, the knock on the door sounded again. "Don't open the door, it must be those bastards." The door was knocked for a long time, and the leaders did not open the door. There was a sound of keys turning, and the door opened from the outside. Outside the door was the person in charge of Real Madrid and a staff member. "This is Real Madrid's territory. If you don't open the door, then I have to find someone to open it with a spare key." The person in charge of Real Madrid showed a standard smile, and he still had a contract in his hand. "Li Chu just gave us a contract he signed with you. If you cancel this contract, you only need to pay a termination fee of 100,000 euros. We at Real Madrid are willing to pay this 100,000 euros, and then Li Chu will join us as a free agent." Chapter 9. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the negotiation room, the leaders of the Football Association flushed and slapped the table frantically. "Li Chu! How dare you add a clause to the contract privately? We, the Football Association, do not recognize this contract. Li Chu looked at the person in charge of Real Madrid and Zidane beside him helplessly, feeling ashamed for the leaders of his country's football association being so shameless. Leader, both of us have signed this contract, and it has legal effect. You don't need to agree or disagree verbally. And this termination clause was not added by me privately. It was already there when I signed the contract. Maybe you can ask the team leader. The leader of the football association immediately called the team leader. The team leader was sweating coldly at this time. Only he and Li Chu knew that he had received a gift when signing the contract, so he added such a clause. Who would have thought that Li Chu would be favored by Real Madrid? Speaking of giving gifts, he is absolutely responsible. He can only insist that he didn't know there was such a clause in the contract. Looking at the arguing Yenghua Football Association leaders and team leaders, the person in charge of Real Madrid interrupted, I think we don't need to watch you arguing about the content of the contract here. Please give me one of your accounts. I will transfer £100,000 to your account according to Li Chu's contract now. Follow the contract. After hearing this, the Football Association leaders looked pig-faced. At this point, they could only follow the contract. The fat pig in hand turned out to be a mouthful of pig hair. At the bullfighting country airport, Li Chu said goodbye to his teammates, and Huang Xiaotian hugged him with excitement. Chu, don't forget Zidane's autographed football. Li Chu also had tears in his eyes. Although he didn't like the domestic football environment, Huang Xiaotian really regarded him as a brother. He even blocked the door with his teammates because of the transfer. Friendship is also the most precious thing on the football field. After seeing off his teammates, Li Chu got on the shuttle bus of Real Madrid players and returned to the Real Madrid training base. Because of Zidane's schedule, assistant coach Michael received Li Chu. Are you Li Chu? I heard you play very well. Michael has a pair of eagle eyes and looks up and down at the thin Yen country player. He did not watch that game. Li Chu saw the assistant coach's expression and knew that he had doubts about his ability, but he didn't care. Ability is proved on the court, and if he wants to gain a foothold in Real Madrid B team, he needs to face doubts constantly. Let's go, I'll take you to meet the players of our team first. There will be a physical test before the official signing. Before passing the physical test, you are not a Real Madrid player. Michael looked down at Li Chu proudly. In his heart, this Yen country boy was just a flash in the pan on the court. Yen country players have innate physical conditions that determine their disadvantages in all aspects, and football is not a few fancy dribbles that can be played well. Li Chu was neither humble nor arrogant, and faced Michael's contemptuous eyes head-on. Thank you, Coach Michael, I think I will pass the physical test and play for Real Madrid. Michael led Li Chu to the Real Madrid training hall, which was now full of familiar faces on the court. The players had already been notified of Li Chu's arrival, and they were not surprised. After Li Chu's simple self-introduction, they thought that these players would also introduce themselves, but Michael directly dismissed everyone on the grounds of stepping up training. I said that before you officially pass the physical test, you are not a Real Madrid player. So there is no need to get to know everyone. This will also save you brains. Think about how to deal with the physical test. After Michael said this, he left, leaving Li Chu alone, and the players of Team B occasionally cast one or two glances. There was no joy or care for the arrival of new teammates in their eyes, only indifference, doubt, and disdain. Li Chu smiled helplessly, and suddenly remembered those predecessors in Yen country who had the opportunity to play in the 5 major leagues. When they were interviewed in China, they also talked about the treatment in the team. No one will welcome you at the beginning, and when you really prove your strength, they will treat you as their own. Li Chu. If I remember correctly, this is your name. A familiar voice sounded, and Jack walked straight to Li Chu and stretched out his hand. Li Chu didn't expect that Jack, who competed with him on the court and even began to mock him, would become the first person to welcome him. What? Is it something you are reluctant to be a teammate with me? Jack smiled. All of course, the temperament on the court was gone, replaced by friendliness. Others put aside their past grudges, and Li Chu naturally reached out to shake hands. Yes, I regret that I can't beat you on the court in the future. This is a European and American humor. Ha ha ha, Li Chu, I didn't expect Yen people to have such a sense of humor. I think I will take you to meet the real Yen people in the future, not from the mouths of some unscrupulous media. Jack patted Li Chu's shoulder. By the way, Michael is like this, he has not seen you dribbling and shooting, especially that one, flying fairy from the sky. At that time, I thought it was the head coach who shot the ball himself. Let's go, I'll take you to the dormitory. Maybe you don't know yet, we are assigned to the same dormitory. Li Chu raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect that he and Jack were so predestined, and Jack suddenly became serious. I hope you don't have the bad habit of grinding your teeth or sleepwalking at night. No, I don't. Oh, that's good, because I do, I hope you can tolerate me. Li Chu. Chapter 10. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this time, Li Chu didn't know that the Football Association, which had just arrived in China, had issued two statements. Statement 1, Li Chu terminated his contract with the Football Association and joined Real Madrid B team as a free agent. Statement 2, Li Chu had bad conduct and the Football Association would never allow Li Chu to participate in any league or international competition under the jurisdiction of the Yanguo Football Association. As soon as the two statements came out, the whole country was in an uproar. Comment, the first Yanguo player to join Real Madrid, the future of Yanguo football. Comment, bad conduct? I don't believe it. It must be that Real Madrid did not make the Football Association earn 10 million, and the Football Association spread rumors and slandered it. We must support Li Chu. Comment, Real Madrid will be my new home team in the future. Real Madrid fans for 20 years came uninvited. Comment, according to rumors, Li Chu legally terminated the contract through the contract, and the leaders of the Football Association were furious and announced that they would never use Li Chu again. At this time, Li Chu was unaware of the Football Association's statement and the countless fans and domestic attention he had received, or rather, he doesn't care, because he has come to the dormitory of his dream football sanctuary. The dormitory is very spacious and simple, without any extra things, which makes Li Chu very satisfied. When he was in China, Li Chu had no other hobbies except playing football. Purity is the best motivation. And Jack was also introducing Li Chu enthusiastically at this time. I think you should know that as Real Madrid B team, we are currently participating in the second division of the bullfighting country. There are 22 teams in total, and the home and away double round-robin point system is played. Winning a game is 3 points, each draw is 1 point, and losing a game is 0 points. It is now early June, and we will start the game at the end of August. There are more than 2 months before the start of the game, and you have plenty of time to prepare. The day after tomorrow will be the physical test for the new players. You can have a good rest tomorrow. Rest? Li Chu shook his head in his heart. When he was in China, his nickname was Desperately Chu. When other players went to eat sea cucumbers, he was training silently. Then Jack led Li Chu to visit the canteen, lounge, and entertainment room, which were all equipped. During this time, many staff members looked at him strangely. It had never happened before that Yen people appeared in Real Madrid's training base. After kindly rejecting Jack's offer to play FIFA 2014, Li Chu returned to the dormitory and opened the system as soon as possible, because the system just prompted that the system store was unlocked. The types of items that can be exchanged in the system store are very rich: star skills, recovery potion, basic attributes. The currency that can be used as an exchange is training value. 1 hour of training can get 1 training value. Upgrading 1 attribute point requires 20 training points. Needless to say, the star skills. Li Chu also saw the famous skill of Yan's famous star, Bamboo Ball Protection, which is a ball protection skill, and even turns 360 degrees more than the Marseille turn. But any skill of a star requires hundreds of attribute points. That is to say, you have to train for 24 hours without eating or drinking for more than 10 days. Only then can you exchange for a minimum level of star skill. If it were an ordinary person, he would have been complaining at this time, but Li Chu's eyes lit up. As long as you train, you can steadily improve yourself. Is there any more cost-effective deal in the world than this? At this time in the entertainment room, Jack was passionately operating the game controller. "Jack, the stadium can be used at any time, right?" "Yes, but it's already night now, and no one will go to train." After hearing Jack's words, Li Chu disappeared without looking back. Jack, who was left stunned, looked at his watch. "No way, is Li Chu going to train?" As if he felt that the game in his hand was meaningless, Jack hesitated again and again, and followed Li Chu's back. Li Chu came to the green field. At this time, the headlights of the stadium had been turned off, and there were only a few small lights. He took a deep breath and officially started training. Jack, standing in the darkness not far away, watched Li Chu repeating the dribbling training over and over again as if he was tirelessly doing so. "This is a madman." At this moment, Jack was more certain why Li Chu could show those amazing skills on the court. Maybe his physical talent was indeed not as good as his own, but his pure love for football and his strict demands on himself were far beyond his reach. Thinking of this, Jack ran towards Li Chu. "Li Chu, take me to train together." Sweating profusely, Li Chu looked up and saw that it was Jack, and couldn't help but smile. Michael happened to pass by the green field at this time, and saw two figures swaying in the dark. Squinting, he looked over. "Let me see which two guys are working so hard. It's really exciting. It's that kid from Yen country, and Jack who plays games all the time." After seeing the two clearly, Michael's face was full of disbelief. "I expected that the kid from Yen country could strictly demand himself. Without hard training, how could Zidane take a fancy to him with the physique of Yen country? It's Jack. I've said it before. Although he has good talent, he is always lazy. He's still training so late today." Looking at the two people who seemed to be talking and laughing while cooperating with each other in training, an idea that Michael himself doubted appeared in his mind. Could it be that the enthusiasm of the kid from Yen country infected Jack?